Yeah, man!
Hello, my name is Miguel and today I'm gonna make for you rice and peas using white rice. You're gonna need white rice, red peas or kidney beans, salt, Scotch bonnet pepper, thyme, dried pimento seeds or dried pimento berries, coconut milk, garlic, stock scallion. To preserve your scallion, wash it and clean it properly and then freeze it. This is frozen. When it's time to use it, then I'll take it out of the freezer. Coconut oil or butter and peas ginger. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. This amount of rice and peas I am making is just enough for a couple. To get this spark going, first measure 1/4 cup red peas. You could throw in a few more beans. Wash red peas or kidney beans. Get a bowl, add enough water. Sprinkle several drops of distilled white vinegar in the water. Now, use your fingers and your palm. Rotate the kidney beans from side to side and around. Wash kidney beans or red peas properly. After that, give it a final rinse. It's best if you do this part under fresh running water. This is just for demonstration purpose. Drain, rinse water. Before or while you're washing the beans, look for stones. Next, measure 3 cups water. Add into the pressure cooker pot or pan and then put it on the stove. Turn the flame on. Gauge the stove's flame on 4, that is medium low. Close the pressure cooker pot properly. If you're using a pressure cooker like mine, ensure to put the gauge on food, not steam released. Allow until the pressure cooker starts whistling. While I am waiting for that, I'm gonna juice this coconut. You are not gonna see this part. If you wanna see me juicing coconut, press the link here. Now prepare the rice and peas seasonings. If you listen keenly, you can hear the rain falling in the background. Prepare and put the seasonings one place. I am using this plate. It starts whistling. Now, once it starts whistling, set the timer for 15 minutes and allow. The stove's gauge is on 4, medium low. Allow. Remove the pepper's stem. Peel garlic. I'm using 1 garlic and a half, or use 2 small cloves. Get a big enough bowl. Put the thyme into the bowl. Put the pepper into the bowl as well. Rinse vegetables. Rinse and wash the scallion as well. Now, drizzle several drops of distilled white vinegar. Add enough water. Remember, do this under running water. Ensure that the Scotch bonnet pepper is whole, meaning it's not burst or anything like that. For this amount of rice and peas, cut 1/4 piece ginger. It's not necessary to peel it. Use your fingers and wash the vegetables properly. After that, give it a final rinse. Ensure ginger is washed and rinsed properly. Measure and put alongside the seasonings we are using 1 teaspoon and a half salt. I am using sea salt. It's okay if you use regular salt. Measure 1/4 teaspoon dried pimento berries. In Jamaica we just say pimento seeds. Remove the little stems that is on the pimento seeds. Grind garlic to puree, or you could mash it to puree. Put seasonings aside for later. I just squeezed and juiced this coconut milk. Measure 1 cup coconut milk. And then put it aside for later. After the time, turn off stove. Put the pressure cooker on a cooler spot on the stove. If you're in a hurry, run water over this part until the pressure release. This is the only pepper I have right now. If you're in a dilemma like me and the pepper is spoiling, you could just use half the pepper. In general, we should just use a whole pepper. Fate set it in such a way that I'm going to show you how to use peas pepper to cook rice and peas. Keep on watching. I don't like to cook in my pressure cooker. I just use the pressure cooker just to pressure. Pour pressured red peas or kidney beans into a different pot or pan. Once this little red nozzle goes down, it is safe to open the pressure cooker. Although I know that 15 minutes will definitely pressure the peas just right, test it still. Use your hand or a fork, press the bean. If it goes through easily, it's ready. Or if it mashes easily, it's ready. Some of the peas might be a little tough. It's okay, it will finish cooking while simmering. Next, add the rice and peas seasonings. When using peas pepper, watch the pepper in the pot. Do not allow the pepper to get soft and break out into the rice and peas. That's gonna make the rice and peas too spicy. Put it at a spot that you can always know where the pepper is. Although I am using frozen scallion, fresh is always best. If you want, you could mash it. Now would be a good time to add scallion. Just put it on a clean surface, use the back of the knife or a spoon and mash. Just kind of mash the scallion. Measure and add 1 tablespoon cooking oil. I am using coconut oil. You could use butter instead. Next, add 1 cup coconut milk. Now put the cooking pot or pan on the stove if it's not already on the stove. Turn the flame on. Ensure the gauge is on low, very low. As low as this. The flame should look as low as this. It's important that you watch it and ensure that the flame doesn't go out. This is an example of how the gauge look on my stove. Use the pot's lid, seal it properly. Ensure that it's closed fully. Do not open the lid at all. Allow it to simmer 25 minutes between 35 minutes on very low. Allow. This is what it looks like. After 15 minutes, leave the lid on and allow this to build flavor. 10 minutes before the time is up, wash rice. Measure 2 cups white rice. And then put it into a big enough bowl. Look through the rice for any foreign objects. Look for stones, sticks, etc. And then remove it. Although these days, even bulk rice clean. Drizzle several drops of distilled white vinegar on the rice and then pour enough water on the rice. Now, use your fingers and your palm. Rotate it from side to side and around. Wash rice properly. We are doing this to wash away excess starch. After that, drain water and then pour fresh water. It's best if you do this part under fresh running water. This is just for demonstration purpose only. Rinse it 3 between 4 times. Rinse it until the water is clear on the last rinse. The water should look this clear on the last rinse. To ensure you don't pour out the rice when draining the water, first, form your hand like a cuff. Release your fingers a little bit so that the water can go through it. Pour the water through your palm and fingers to catch any rice that might be draining out. If you do not understand what I just said, do what I'm doing. After the time, this is what it looks like. This is what you want. Now, pour the washed rice on your rice and peas stew or your rice and peas butter. Put stove's gauge on 4, medium low. It's best if you use a fork. Use a fork, stir in the rice into the stew for about 15 between 20 seconds. Use the pot's lid, cover pot properly. It's important that you stir in the pot every 40 seconds to a minute from here on. If you don't, the rice will stick on the pot's bottom and it might spoil the rice and peas. And you don't want that. Ensure the fork is rubbing on the pot's bottom while you are stirring. Use the pot's lid, cover pot properly. After a minute, stir it in. Ensure to rub the fork on the pot's bottom and stir in the rice with the stew properly. Keep the scallion, the thyme, and the peas pepper together in a spot on the top somewhere. Especially because we are using peas pepper, watch the peas pepper. Just keep it in a corner on the top somewhere. Excuse the scraping of the fork on the pot's bottom, but this part is important. Cover pot properly and allow. After a minute more, totaling 3 between 4 minutes, as much as 5 minutes, this is what it looks like. Stir it in, use the pan's lid, cover it properly and allow. The objective for this part is to cook the rice until most of the water is dried out. Now would be a good time to turn the stove's flame on low, almost off low. This is how low the flame should look. And flame's gauge looks like this on my stove. Ensure to keep the lid closed within the time. After 10 minutes, this is what the rice and peas looks like. Watch the peas pepper. Now, what I like to do is to just stir in half of the rice and peas in the pot. And then use the fork to move over the scallion and the thyme with the pepper on the other side, which I just stirred, and then stir in the other side. Flip the bottom to the top and vice versa. Now is when the rice and peas starts looking like rice and peas. Cover the pot properly and allow. The stove's gauge is still on very low. Allow. After 10 minutes more, 20 minutes in total, since we start simmering, meaning since it's been on very low, the rice and peas looks like this. This is the peas pepper. The pepper is very soft. Now would be a good time to remove it. If we were using a whole pepper, we could let it stay. But because I don't want this piece pepper to break out in the rice and peas, I'm going to remove it now. Do like we did before. Use the fork, stir in on one side of the pot. So use the fork, flip the bottom to the top and vice versa. After that, use the fork, shift over the scallion, the thyme, peas pepper. Some people say if you use a spoon to stir the rice and peas, that's gonna make it soft. While my friend Rodney says it doesn't matter. However, lately my mind been telling me each time you rotate the fork in the rice and peas, it break up the peas more. So with using a spoon, that might not happen. Give us your opinion. Share your experience with us. Leave a comment below. Just kind of taste it to see if the rice is not tough. It is important that you don't mash up the scallion in the rice and peas while stirring. Just kind of push it over to the side. Use the pan's lid, cover it properly. Stove gauge is still on very low. Allow. After 10 minutes more, 30 minutes in total, since the stove is on very low, the rice and peas looks like this. Do the same thing. Stir in one side of the rice and peas, flip the scallion and the thyme on the other side, and then stir in the other side as well. Because at the end of the day, if you keep the stoves on, if you keep the flame on very low, the rice will never burn. I learned that from my mother. When the rice starts sticking to the pot's bottom extremely, that's a sign to say that's not really a sign to say it's ready, but it's ready. Taste the rice and peas. You'll know if it's ready. That's it. We're finished. It's perfect. Turn off stove. Cover it until serving. Before serving, remove thyme stick and scallion. If we had used whole pepper, now would be a good time to remove it as well. This is rice and peas cooked with white rice. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Subscribe, like, and share. You should try making this rice and peas yourself. Give us feedback when you do. Support the chef. Purchase a cookbook or a merchandise from his online stores. If you would like to get your rice and peas flaky like this, follow my method. Follow this method. Oh, before I forget, if you want to cook more rice and peas, all you need to do is double the ingredients or triple the ingredients, etc. So whatever you see me do today, just do it with double the amount of ingredients, or triple, or 4 times, or 5 times, etc. You could use cow's milk instead. However, dilute it with half of the amount in water. You could use milk powder instead. Use about a tablespoon or 2 milk powder with the water, with 1 cup water. Use 24 grams coconut milk powder with 1 cup water. If you have nothing else and you only have condensed milk, you could use the condensed milk. Use about a teaspoon between a tablespoon condensed milk with the 1 cup of water. And you could use the coconut milk from the can. However, dilute it half and half with water. Coconut milk is where water is added. However, coconut cream is thicker. It might have a little water in it or no water at all. Just be mindful. I'm just giving you all of these other options. You can use any milk, but dilute it. This is somebody's lunch, Megan. Yeah, man! The rice and peas taste just like rice and peas. Today, I'm serving rice and peas with peppered steak stew.